Hi guys, real quick, how to change adjustments for your photo prompt. Um, the first thing you're going to do is create a new file by hitting this button because we're going to go into high resolution print. And so this one is just adjustment layers. Um, and then when I hit create, what you're going to get is a big white canvas to work with. Now I'm going to be in Essentials. I'm not sure if we have Essentials Classic in the classroom. See if you can get Essentials Classic um, up and running for you because it's just a great workspace. Um, okay, so first thing we're going to do is go get our photo. So I'm going to go File and I'm going to go Place Embedded. And I'm going to search for the image I want to use. I'm going to pick just a picture of my dog running. And I noticed that I don't have to do anything over here in my um, layer to either rasterize. You shouldn't have to do anything because we're going to be working non-destructively. So it's asking if I want to uh, make this smaller, and I do because what I'm going to do is I'm going to make few copies of this. So I'm gonna, if you don't see the bounding box, you can hit Control T on your keyboard. And anytime you make an adjustment like that, it's asking you, do you want to keep this? And you just have to hit Enter on the keyboard or Return. And then notice here's my smart object. This is called a smart object because um, it's going to save you from editing the actual pixels. Um, the other thing you want to do is hit this show transform control. So I always have a bounding box so I know what layer I'm on. So what I want you to do is duplicate this layer a couple of times. You can come in and right click and hit duplicate layer. And you're going to end up with 4 versions of this. And we're just going to play around with uh, adjustment layers. Now I'm gonna do that again by hitting Control J. Oh, it barely fits. And then Control J again. So I have 4 versions of Isa running through the snowy woods from last year. Now I have 4 layers. So I'm going to start on the bottom layer because I'm going to show you something. And then I'm going to go into adjustments. You can close this other stuff if you want. You can drag this out if you want. And you can see your stuff. Oh, what do I want to do? I'm going to invert this. What's going to happen? I have no idea. I'm just going to, oh, my computer's having a moment. I'm going to invert this first one. Whoa, that's interesting. What it does is it takes the lights and makes them dark and takes the darks and makes them light. Cool. For this one, I'm going to go into hue and saturation and you'll see your layers over here. And I'm going to pull these sliders, but notice it does it to both images. And I don't want that. I don't want all of my images to change. So I'm going to come over to the properties panel and I'm going to hit this button and then we'll leave this one alone. It will just work on the layer below hue saturation because that's the button I pushed. So, I don't know. I love this. I think it's super fun because you can do different things and fool around with color. Saturation changes the intensity, and of course, lightness makes it lighter or darker. Okay, so then what you're going to do is you're going to choose one of these uh, adjustment layers for each of the layers. Make sure you come over and hit this button, and then see what the sliders do. Like what is this changing? It's changing the red tones in the black and white image. This one's changing the yellow tones. Um, see see what happens when you push and pull these sliders around and make adjustments, see what you think. And then you can always go in and go, you know what, I want to increase the contrast on this layer too. I do that. So see what happens. All right, and you're going to do this to all four for adjustment layers. Remember, that's adjustments. And then when you add one, you get a layer here that you can also delete if you don't like what it did. So I'm going to do all four images in a different way. And then I'm going to turn that bad boy in.